Hello, and welcome to Bright Bible Stories. If you love stories that teach faith, kindness, and truth, you're in the right place. Before we begin, take a moment to subscribe, like this video, and share it with someone who needs encouragement today. Now let's begin. In the Garden of Eden, everything was perfect. Adam and Eve lived in harmony with God. There was no pain, no fear, no shame. They had abundant food, meaningful work, and deep companionship. Most of all, they had direct fellowship with their Creator. God gave them freedom to eat from every tree in the garden, except one. You may eat from any tree, but you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. For when you eat from it, you will surely die. It was not cruelty. It was a boundary built on trust. One day, something changed. A serpent, more crafty than any other creature, approached Eve. He did not threaten. He did not force. He asked a question. Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? Doubt had entered Eden. Eve answered carefully. We may eat from the trees in the garden, but we must not eat from the tree in the middle of the garden, or we will die. Then the serpent contradicted God. You will not surely die. When you eat it, your eyes will be opened. You will be like God, knowing good and evil. The seed of suspicion was planted. Eve looked at the fruit. It was good for food, pleasing to the eye, desirable for wisdom. Desire overcame trust. She took it. She ate it. She gave some to Adam, and he ate. And everything changed. Their eyes were opened, but not as they expected. They did not become gods. They became ashamed. For the first time, they realized they were naked. Innocence was gone. Shame had arrived. They sewed fig leaves together to cover themselves. Then they heard the sound of God walking in the garden. Once, that sound brought joy. Now it brought fear. They hid among the trees. But no one can hide from the one who made them. God called out, "Where are you?" It was not a question of location. It was an invitation to confession. Adam replied, "I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." Fear had replaced fellowship. God asked, "Have you eaten from the tree I commanded you not to eat from?" Adam blamed Eve. "The woman you gave me. She gave me the fruit." Eve blamed the serpent. "The serpent deceived me." Sin had already fractured trust. God spoke to the serpent. There would be consequences. But within the judgment was a promise. One day, the offspring of the woman would crush the serpent's head. Hope was spoken even in condemnation. To Eve, God said pain would now enter childbirth. Relationships would be strained. Harmony would no longer be effortless. To Adam, God said the ground itself would be cursed. Work would become toil. The soil would resist. Life would require sweat and struggle. For dust you are, and to dust you will return. Death had entered the human story. Yet even in judgment, there was mercy. God made garments of skin and clothed them. Their fig leaves were not enough. God himself provided covering. They could no longer remain in the garden. If they ate from the tree of life in their fallen state, they would live forever in brokenness. So God sent them out of Eden. Cherubim and a flaming sword guarded the way back. The garden was closed. Humanity stepped into a world marked by struggle, pain, and mortality. Freedom had brought responsibility. Responsibility had brought consequence. The world would never be the same. This story explains why our world feels broken, why relationships fracture, why temptation pulls at us, why guilt and shame feel so real. It began in Eden, but woven into the fall is hope. The promise that evil would not win forever. The promise that the serpent would one day be crushed. The story was not over. God seeks us even when we hide. He questions us not to shame us, but to restore us. Even in consequence, there is mercy. The fall was not the end. From that moment forward, history began moving toward restoration. A greater story was unfolding. And the same question echoes today. When we hear God calling, will we hide? Or will we step forward in honesty and trust? That is the lasting lesson of the fall. Thank you for watching Bright Bible Stories. If this story inspired you, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with someone you care about. Join us next time for another story that brings light, faith, and hope. See you soon.